Hello, hello, this is Disrespecting and we're gonna be playing some Path of Exile on hardcore, possibly multiple times depending on how much we die and how much it's liked. I haven't decided what class I want to play, I haven't really decided anything beforehand, but I think I'm gonna start out with a Shadow. I haven't played them too much, should be interesting.
Silence a big
We're
mouth,
gonna see, you know, how far we get. Maybe if this character dies early, you know, I'll let you suggest something else I can play. Just suggest like a class and whatever type of weapons and stuff you want them to use and specific talents, and we'll see. I'm already using the name Disrespecting, so we're gonna be very original. And just make this Shadow, because, oh, you're kidding.
It's not a complete loss.
This is Shadow?
The way I hear it.
Disre Shadow?
Man
sure, that can't be taken, right?
Fast.
Absolutely perfect. Alright, so since it's hardcore, I'm gonna probably cry a lot and be scared a lot, and, you know, afraid to die. I haven't played hardcore a lot, normally play default, so it should be interesting. Let's just start stabbing here. Now, in case you haven't played this before, I'm gonna sort of explain what's going on as I go. Right now, I got my first weapon and I got this gem. These gems can be mounted in the sockets of your weapons. You have to turn these sockets on in your options. By default, they only show if you mouse over the weapon. And right there, I have double strike. My first ability, which is a pretty darn nice skill. It's a hack and slash, so don't expect amazing, exciting commentary all throughout the thing. Except for when I'm crying, of course. We're gonna, yeah, see how far we can get without totally failing. Usually skip most of the stuff on the beach here. It's not really worth killing them. I usually try to be the same level as the zone I'm in or one level below, and you can experience pretty quickly. We'll just loot everything because I need the currency. This game doesn't actually have money. It trades with orbs. There's different kinds of orbs that change items up, like add abilities or, you know, change all the abilities that are already on them and re-rolls the item entirely. There's a lot of things you can do that I'll be showing you throughout the playthrough. And it should be quite interesting to see if you're not very experienced with the game. On hardcore mode, when I die, I'll be moved to the default league. You can basically pick or default league or hardcore mode, either or. And really you don't lose your character. You, as I said, you just get moved to the other league where you have a separate stash. So most of the items you gathered in hardcore are lost, and whatever you have equipped goes to default, so you don't have it in hardcore anymore. So it's a penalty, but you know, it still leaves hardcore accessible to inexperienced players, I'd say. Not sure what I'm gonna go with here. Dual strike, or what I have now, double strike, is pretty nice. Probably gonna go with a fire trap, though I don't have anything to put that in yet. We do have some scrolls of wisdom. They identify items, like this one. Since I don't have a ring yet, that's pretty nice. It also gives life. And survivability in this game is pretty important. It's basically everything you want. Like DPS is important, but not nearly as much. I haven't quite decided what weapons I'm going with yet, but for now I'll go double dagger, as that's the only thing I have two of, and this class should be able to specialize them. Specialize in them quite a bit. What a nice name, let's report him. I don't have to put a reason. Offensive character name, clearly. Now this is everything I've got. It's not much. It's what I got from one other character who got to about 20-ish. There's one unique there that's really, really awful. I'm not gonna take items from here probably, because it would be kind of cheap in a playthrough to do so. Well, actually I'll take the scrolls. They don't make me more powerful. They're just convenient. So I have a few orbs here, like this orb right here turns a white item into a blue item if I want to. And then this can change the added values, like here the 17 maximum life and the 12% increased mana regeneration rate, I could change those with the Orb of Alteration, re-roll the item entirely pretty much. And if it only gets one added stat, let's say it only gets life on the next roll, the Orb of Augmentation right here will add a second stat. And blue items can only have 2 stats, except for the implicit stat that the item has when it's white as well, like in this case 24 mana above the little blue bar. And you know, you have the same for yellows, and there's lots more things to, for example, turn normals into yellows, and so much stuff that we'll be figuring out, you know, as we go along. I'm sure I will do it eventually, but with these low level items it's not really worth it, I'd say, unless I really badly want to twink and die a lot. Well, I can't die a lot, I can only die once, then the character is just over. So let's, this should be level 2 area, yeah. So we're gonna kill some zombies until we're at least level 2, so that we stand a chance against whatever we are to face next. As you can see, we get hit quite hard. You don't want to take massive risks here. Which, wow, well that's quite a risk right there. Holy crap. They don't like me. See, in this case the fire trap would have really helped. Simply, let's see if we can... Yeah, okay, that works. As you can see at the bottom right, I can't use the fire trap right now, it sort of has to recharge. I guess I can use my normal stabby attack. But this'll AoE everything. Like that.
It's nice not being
which
dead
is
yet.
beautiful at a low level. It's very efficient. And we leveled up. So that's good. Yeah, stabby. Let's just take everything again. And we're actually going to equip this, because plate vests slow me down more than a shabby jerkin would. It's sort of, you know, there's armor, pure armor, which makes you slower, but of course more armor. And then there's just other types, like energy shield, for example, which is a layer on top of life. You have a shield that's 0/0 here currently, which lets you walk a little faster than armor would. I don't know if the difference is very noticeable right now. Yeah, it's pretty noticeable. But it's worth it. Also, that has a green slot, so now I can use both my abilities. So leave fire trap on Q. Middle mouse button I'll leave open because it's kind of annoying to use. Let's see what we actually have here. Our first point is either spell damage or increased attack speed. And we probably want to go for life nodes as quickly as we can. And what's also really important is resistances in this game. Let's see if I can find a resistance node real quick, like here. Pretty much the first difficulty, your resistances are normal, you just have what you have. In the second difficulty, it gets nerfed by 20%. And in the third difficulty, it gets nerfed by 60%, which means that I'll need much more to reach the cap that is by default 75. It can be raised with elemental adaptation, for example, which increases the maximum resistance I can have. But as you can see, since I start here, that's very far away. Anyway, this right here goes into damage with one-handed melee weapons. This goes to projectiles, so it's probably things like bows. And then this is purely spell-based. So probably using daggers. We'll want to go down here. As I said, I haven't really prepared any ideas for this character, so I'm just going to make it up as I go along. Which, for the most part, should be viable enough as long as I get enough life. And we can always switch weapons if we don't actually specialize in any type of weapon. Daggers should be based on crit a lot. And I'll need accuracy on my items, I suppose. Throw that trap out there. And kill her, because she uses fire, and it'll get confusing knowing what fire is actually mine. What is hers? I can't say I have much experience with dual-wielding characters at all. My highest level in the game is currently 77, I believe. She's a witch, so it's a caster, based on summons, pretty much. If she gets hit by anything at that point, she's just dead, because her life is awful. So this will be a change of pace. It's much more exciting, in my opinion, to actually play a melee class. Just gives you, I don't know, an up close and personal cutthroat feeling. Let's see. Double strike and fire trap level up. These gems level on their own. They don't level with me. They get experience as I do when I kill. And yeah, makes them cost more mana, makes them more powerful, increases the effects they have. And you can also get quality on items, which makes them even better, but that's something you'll be shown later, I suppose. So, well, I guess I could show it for the hell of it. It'll be a bit of a waste, but we'll go over it real quick. If we take our shabby jerkin here, we have an armorous scrap, improves the quality of an armor, and it will basically just improve the primary stat of it. So the evasion rating in this case makes it 22. If it's a white item, a quality improving item adds 5%. If it's a blue, I believe it only adds 2. And if it's a yellow, it only adds 1. So if you upgrade an item while it's white, it's much cheaper to do so. Now, it's kind of important that you do that, I suppose, if you think an item might be good. I usually completely forget and just do it when they're yellow. It's not like you get great yellows all the time. Also, I wouldn't mind finding something with life regen on it. That'd be very nice. Aha. Perfect. Here we go. Occasionally, you might notice that my experience compared to last video doesn't entirely match up. Because I will probably do some things off screen, and I'm thinking I'll stop the video mostly during loading screens so it seems like a continuous experience rather than cut up video. It'll probably just be nicer. We'll see how that works out. So we might, you know, cut out at a loading screen and then have to fight through the area again when I start playing the game next time. Here we go. Perfect. We leveled up again and we found a medium life potion. That's very nice. I don't have a hat yet, so I'll take that. And we'll put our point in movement speed so we can get to one-handed damage. Acceleration. And then these life nodes right here will be our first proper boost. Also found a quality jerkin here that I should have equipped instead of upgrading that. Basically, if you have, let's say I have multiple pieces of quality armor, if they're 40% together, I can sell them for a quality improving item. If it's armor, I get one for armor. If it's 40% weapons, I get a blacksmith's whetstone, and so on and so on. It's pretty self-explanatory. Oh, that's a quality item we'll probably keep. We don't need quivers, so I'm not gonna identify that. It'll just be a waste. Let's identify this though. Yeah, it requires level 4, so we can't use that right now. Now my quest is currently going to Tidal Island and finding a medicine chest, which is right here. I can also make the map on my screen. In that case, it's right here. I'm not going to go there yet, because the next area has a waypoint, which is basically a portal I can take to any other waypoint in another area or back to town. And I could probably do some other stuff before I go there, because there's like a mini boss that could probably kick my butt if I'm not careful. So the higher level I am, the better. I'm gonna stop killing all these. We can also sell everything in our inventory without wasting a portal scroll. Which, you know, is nice, because I'm cheap like that. Let's go to Lion's Eye's Watch. Sell everything we have and stash the quality items. And see if Nessa has any nice rings while we're at it. Don't care about you. Well, 135. I guess I do kind of care about you. You could be nice. 410 and fire damage. Yeah, sure, I'll equip that. It's a bit annoying that you can't equip things while you're selling, but I guess it doesn't matter too much. It's just me being lazy. Here we go. I'm gonna stick to evasion for now. Game froze for a bit there. That was freaky. Are these all quality items? Might be able to show it right now. Let's see, we have 14, 26, 36, plus this is 41. So it gives us 41% in items right there. We'll store these in our stash. Sell Nessa these items, which will give us a armorer's scrap right here. So you can see there's no gold. All the currency is items, basically. So you also have to barter in game with other players to actually get the things you want. It's quite interesting. Put these up here. These scroll fragments turn into scrolls of wisdom when I have 5. So always nice to save those up, and eventually I'll be stashing all my scrolls in my inventory. Also, I guess I could take some speed flasks right here. That'd be pretty nice. At least one. The other we'll use for a health potion once we're level 4. And I want to check if Nessa... Right, ooh, wow. That is very lucky. 30 life is the max life roar you can actually have on a ring like this. It's very nice that we found that. So we're going to equip that right now. And I'm going from 90 to 132. Now, oh, that actually does make sense. It has plus 12 there as well. But basically every life node I get here will actually increase the value on this ring as well. So if I have a plus 8% life node, it will go over the 30 and over the 12, from what I understand. Forgive me if I'm wrong. And yeah, it's pretty darn nice. But life is pretty much the most important thing we have here. Do we have another high roll? We have a 28, so I'll take that. Gonna get rid of this. And no belts I actually want. We'll sell these rings. And we're going to... Oh crap, I just sold the ring I bought for... Oh man, I'm dumb. Man, I was gonna make it blue. Wow, I'm stupid. Fine, we'll get... No, we won't get the 25. That's 3 scrolls of wisdom and we barely have any. I guess I won't manually upgrade a ring. I'll just get this one. Darn it, brain. You blow. Oh well. Let's stash our things. And move on. Maybe Mr.
Still alive, are we?
Tarley? I don't know. See if he has anything. We don't want to buy too much, but if he has like really good weapons. For example, claws are really nice because they give life on hit, which in my opinion is much better than daggers. But daggers do more damage, and I've used claws before. And I kind of want to, you know, explore the possibilities, go for different types of builds, and not always do the same. That's sort of what's fun about all this for me. This zone is level 4. So we're gonna try and level up right here. Oh crap. These are blue mobs, which means they're a lot stronger than normal mobs, and I'm not sure how well I can fight these right now. We'll just sort of kite around them. Ow. Kite around them and try to kill them that way. Be very careful. Oh, we got a superior knife as well. Okay, there we go. Got nailed fist, it's life on hit. Superior 519, it's a level 5 knife though. It's also slower. The attack speed is actually slower, and I prefer the fastest attack speed I can get personally. Might not be the best thing, I don't know, but I love it that way. Wonder if it makes a big difference though, since I'm not actually using my primary attack. No. Right, I didn't actually do that quest yet. We'll take this. To explore 3 nests here to open a passage we're about to reach. There's also another quest here I have to do that I'll also wait to do a bit later, because it's just a really dangerous quest. I have to kill this necromancer that keeps resurrecting everything next to it, which, you know, if you're a summoner yourself you can just steal the corpses, but in this case it's kind of hard to deal with that. Because I'm just a single target. Well, I have fire trap, but still. It's difficult. Yeah. Let's use this fire trap again. Nice. It's the second nest. We want to reach at least level 4 before we leave here. I'm almost there. Ow. I really shouldn't attack these like head on. I should try and sort of circle around them and hit them in the back, because it avoids the charge mechanic. Kind of a pain in the butt. Whoa. Okay, that happens sometimes. The game is still in beta, so every now and then things will desync and just teleport you places you never expected them to. Or you might be getting hit while there's nothing next to you and suddenly die, which is pretty awful. One-handed melee damage. Wait. Oh boy. Die, please. Did I go the right way? Yeah, I went the right way. Okay, we're good. Yeah, there's bugs here and there, but they're putting out patches quite often. I don't think we can complain too much. Let's see, 4-8. It's not that great. Don't charge me, please. Thank you. Oh, we got a chain belt and a whetstone. Don't believe I had a belt yet. So that gives me energy shield, which is separate from life. Now, I believe... What's the difference between energy and shield and life? Basically, energy shield doesn't really have normal regeneration. What it does, it starts regenerating after 6 seconds, I believe, but it regenerates like really, really fast. So it's just a secondary mechanic to life. You can also spec into it to give it regeneration, to make health potions work on energy shield instead of your life. It makes for some pretty interesting things. You also have an ability which turns all energy shield you have into actual mana. So the game has auras, for example, and if you have that ability, you can run way more auras than you would be able to normally, or use more spells and that sort of thing. It's pretty great. So I'm probably going to explore this cave until I find a waypoint. There is a waypoint here. Yeah, it's kind of difficult in here though, but we'll manage, I believe. I'm not too worried about dying yet. Okay. Move my gems up. But yeah, there should be a waypoint here. You can actually see mousing over it. It says submerged passage and it has a little waypoint icon. So you can see if an area you're in actually has one. Like Terraces doesn't have that. So it doesn't have a waypoint. Okay. Oh, wait, corpse. I always loot all the corpses in chests I find, because I got uniques from them sometimes, which is... I wouldn't say it's the best type of item, but it's technically the highest rarity sort of item there is. They're usually level restricted, like I can find similar daggers at level 1 and level 50, just with higher damage stats, but uniques are always like locked to a certain level from what I understand. Evasion energy shield mask. It's 11-4, probably still better than just 17 evasion, so we'll equip that as well. Probably using fire trap plenty, because there's a lot of these little mobs crowded together in this cave. I'm often using the big map to navigate because I just forget to look at the tiny one. It's just nicer not to have that big map actually on screen all the time, so you can see where the mobs are. It's really easy to have your vision obstructed by that big map. If you do play the game yourself and you don't know how I'm doing the mini-map thing, it's an option in the settings you have to turn on. Nope. You can also see that most of these mobs have like an extra stat, like this one resists cold. The little crab things resist lightning. And there's no complete resists in this game. It just lowers the damage that kind of elemental ability does, but it won't actually completely nullify the damage. That just doesn't happen. This is a bow skill, so I can't actually use that with my weapons. But something we'll probably stash in our inventory for future characters. But if I have too many gems of the same type, I usually sell them to either vendors or players, it depends. If you find a gem with quality on it, it can usually be sold for quite a bit, because the item which with you upgrade gems is actually quite valuable. It's really rare. It doesn't get found a lot. I want to go up to level 5, and then I'll take that waypoint to town. And we'll do the quests we previously skipped. Now we're at a safer level. We'll also be able to check the vendors, see if they have any nice rings or amulets that we could use to, you know, not die while we're doing all that.
With every death, I live a little bit more.
Okay. I'm not gonna skip any quests. I feel in hardcore, I really just shouldn't do that. It's dangerous. I could miss out on items or skills or whatever that I could really use to not die. Let's go to town and see what it has in store for us. Okay, we'll spend our point in melee damage again. 3 more levels. We'll get our first life node. And again, just sell everything we have. In the future, I'll be mostly limiting what I loot to blues, and eventually I'll just loot yellows. It's 918. Rather have the strength and fire damage for now, I think. Can also equip this potion, which is better than the potions we currently have. Don't know if I want another mana potion, really. I think this should be okay. So we'll store this here. See how much quality we have. 19, 28. That's exactly 40. It's beautiful. So we'll sell this to give us an armorer's crap and store it. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to use the dagger. I have some. Let's see, 11%. It's 27, 33. Yeah, we'll make it. Probably go a bit over it. Let's see, do the high ones first. 16. It's 32. We'll do the 5 and a 6. Doesn't matter if it goes a bit over. Also, if I totally derp at math, I'm sorry. That's what I'm like. I don't do math well. I really actually have a bunch of skills that right here that I could probably use, but I'm probably just gonna wait to actually find them questing and whatnot. Okay. Let's see what he gives us here. Poison arrow, whirling blades. I actually want both of these. These are both really nice skills. That is actually a spell though. Not a melee attack. So this will benefit from spell damage, in which case it's not that useful for me. So we'll go with whirling blades. We'll need another green slot, so let's see if we can actually get one. And check the rings again. If there's a 30 life ring, I'll pretty much buy it immediately. I also want a leather bell, because it gives life. Since I'm going for life nodes, energy shield won't be that useful for me, as I don't get the upscaling nodes over what the bonus on the item already is. So, ooh, we could get a life regen amulet. There's a 4.01. I don't know what the max stat on this is, but this should increase our survivability significantly at this level. Later on it'll be useless, but it's not
Still
the point.
alive, are we?
The point is now. That's what hardcore is. Let's see, what could we buy from you? If you'd have something like a dagger with a green slot, I very much appreciate that. It's a 120 dagger. I really want the fast daggers, if I can. 130 sword. I suppose we can't. Yeah, I'll buy it for... Oh, there's a +1 to cold gems. Huh. We'll swap out the sword, even though it's probably better than this dagger, but I just... Right now, the green slot is more important than the sword. And we'll put that there.
Still alive, are we?
And sell this baby. Giving us some alteration shards, 20, turn into an orb of alteration. Right there. Okay. And then we get to move on. We'll go to the waypoint of Mudflats, because it's a really short walk from there back to where we need to be. And I think the medicine chests, I'm not sure if it does, but I think it might give us a new skill point. The maps here are randomly generated, but for the most part, Usually, most of the time, this is pretty much in exactly the same spot compared to the exit of the zone, or the entrance if you know, count where I just came from, I suppose. Want to be careful here as well, because there's mobs that do cold damage, which can slow me and freeze me and other horrible things. But with the life regen, I should be able to do this without too much of a hassle. You might also notice that I always pick up amulets and rings. There's no particular reason for most of them, but I usually just take them because they take one slot, and selling them is pretty much always worth it to me. Now, iron rings, however, if I have 7 of them, together with a yellow or rare, whatever you want to call it, ring of, I believe, a power or coral ring, I'm not sure what they were called, I can turn them into a yellow amulet. So let's say I get a really bad yellow ring, I could combine it with 7 iron rings and sell it to a vendor. That's how crafting works, selling to a vendor. And then they'll give me a yellow amulet in return, which could be a better item than the ring if I'm lucky. So in that way, it's sort of worth saving these kinds of things up. So when I'm talking about crafting, I mean selling, pretty much. It's what the trade value for whatever I sell is. So lightning resistance, I don't really need that right now. If it was further on in the game, I might have equipped that, but for now, I should use the fire trap now, by the way. Right now, it seems to be quite overpowered. We'll take this goat hide buckler. And I really, really hope you can't hear the horny meowing. Oh boy. Right now I'm frozen. There's the mini boss right there. I want to kill all these ads before I actually go to him. The fire trap is sort of difficult to use if I keep moving. And we got evasion rating boots. Probably stick with the armor for now. It's a good thing the boss didn't follow me. We'll try and pull out all these ads for safety's sake, because this is a really easy spot to die. And on a hardcore character, you know, dying this early on is just embarrassing. So I really don't want to be doing that. Whirling Blade should help me out a lot. It allows me to, even when I'm frozen, escape pretty quickly. And even though it does very little damage, I can use it to kill those ads right now. And then there's a bash his face in. Another advantage of Bear Trap is that it doesn't require a lot of... Wow! We got 3 yellows! 2 we can't use, but that's still impressive. Took pretty much everything that dropped here, probably. Mana Flask can fill up that slot perfectly. 14 armor, energy shield. Further over evasion for now. Later on, I'm thinking I'll build down the skill tree to this right here, Iron Reflexes, which will turn my evasion into armor. So evasion gear will be pretty much the same as armor gear, which means that the slowdown effect from armor won't affect me, because I can wear evasion gear to negate that effect, which is pretty cool. Don't want any of that, I don't think so. I'll take the Spirit Shield and Chainmail Vest because they fit in perfectly, and I can sell them for more items I could trade with. Just kill you real quick. And we will make a portal back to town. It's going pretty well so far. Not too much difficulty doing anything. Quickly deliver our quests and... I'll take the Quicksilver Flask, just because you don't find them a lot. They're much rarer than, let's say, a health potion. And I can still turn these into blues and get a lot of cool effects that I can also use on other characters. Whereas the medium health potion, you know, every character will get that fairly easily, and it's just not really worth having, in my opinion. Let's see. Inflicts a debuff on the foe, which deals chaos damage. Chaos damage is pretty interesting. Like, there's fire damage, there's lightning damage, and cold damage, and they all have their own effects. What chaos damage does, it ignores energy shield, so it goes straight to health. Let's say I have 100 health and I have 2000 energy shield. I do 100 damage, completely ignore the energy shield and kill something, which is pretty cool. Unless there is an ability right here, which is called Chaos Inoculation, which makes your maximum life 1 and makes you immune to chaos damage, which means you'll need a lot of energy shield, like all these nodes here, to make up for having 1 health. But the chaos damage can't do anything to you. So if there's something that just does chaos damage, nothing happens. I can't use Poison Arrow. Detonate Dead is not really a great skill, I'd say. Although, maybe I could abuse it for the Summoner. That's a pretty good idea. Because I don't think requires a Claw Dagger or sword, but I don't know if I'll get this again. Do I have a Viper Strike in my stash? That's a question. Yeah, I have a Viper Strike right there. So for now, I could get the Detonate Corpses.
Oh, I was never there.
So I can use that against the Summoner that I have to fight soon. And we'll sell everything we found. Except for the yellows, of course. We want to identify those, see if they're any use to us or future characters we might make. Let's see here. Okay. That's something I'll keep. This is a good item. If I could use this on a level 4 ranger, that's pretty darn good. And this is 24 increased physical damage. Screw it. We'll keep all these items until we find something better for a similar level. Regenerate. I actually want to use these boots. Those are pretty nice. Okay, so we'll get stash tab 10. Sort of where I keep items I might one day use. And sell what we have left over. You two. Stash the iron ring somewhere. Get rid of these. And store you guys. Then we'll go on to the summoner. Who should be right there. Next to mud flats. Fairly easy to reach. Let's run up there really quick. We're already level 5, so there's no real need for me to kill much here. So I'll run right past. If you follow the wall, it's usually fairly easy to find where I need to be for this quest. Which is Dweller of the Deep in Fetid Pools. Actually, no, it's not the Dweller of the Deep. That's an entirely different quest. This is a dirty job. Now, this quest can be a true pain up the butt. Because... oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That's a lot of charging mobs. That could kill me so quickly. You have no idea. Okay. We're good. We're all dead. What was I saying? I was saying something, but I totally forgot. Ooh, medium mana flask. Sweet. Right, this quest can be a pain in the butt because I have to kill all mobs here to complete it. And it's a big area, and it's easy to sort of lose where you've been, where you haven't been, and where there could still be monsters. So you often end up like with one monster remaining, no idea where it is, and you'll... yeah, blues! Blue charging mobs, blue charging mobs. Resist call moves quickly. Oh great, they move quickly, so I can't outrun them.
Feeling a bit short on
There. I should probably start using that detonate corpse skill. I really won't be using that for a long time. I'll probably get rid of it after this quest. It's really just useful for the summoners. We'll take the blues. I think this is sort of the point where I should be able to fill my inventory with blues, which will most likely sell for more than the whites will. Go away. It's funny how something made out of bone doesn't resist fire. Maybe this is really oh god, a yellow, our first yellow. Resists elemental damage, deals extra damage, gains an endurance charge, is undead. No, actually, oh yeah, endurance charge increases its defense. So it can get more defensive when it hits me. We could also just use double mazes, but we don't actually have the slots for that. Could be very interesting though. Sure, we'll take you because you don't take a lot of space and should sell decently. Okay. More charging ones. I hope the summoner doesn't have this many around him. That would... oh god, this is the summoner. Fantastic! Okay, so we're gonna start detonating corpses. because this will make it unable for the summoner to actually resurrect these guys. Oh boy, this could get really difficult. It's another corpse down, another corpse down. You can see he's just gonna keep bringing these back. And I can kill the summoner, but he's quite powerful, so it might take a while. So I prefer this tactic right now. If I can just keep exploding all these corpses, he should be a piece of cake to kill, because he's nothing as soon as his corpses are gone. You seriously can't do anything. So right now, all I have to do is kick his butt with melee damage. I should out-regen most of his attacks, so if he has no ads, he's simple. But you can see if you don't have a skill like that, he can become quite a hassle to kill. And he kills plenty of hardcore players when they first do this and don't really know what's going on. Let's go and spend our passive skill point on one-handed damage. And see if we got anything worth... Well, these are never going to be better than that, there's no way. So I'm not going to bother using an identify scroll on them. I only have 7, and I should keep them with me as much as I can. Use as few as possible until I get a steady supply of them. Because I might run out and find an item that I could actually use on this character and not have anything to identify it with, which would suck. Okay, so we have to wipe out the remaining monsters. Shouldn't be all that hard to find them. Sort of zigzag from the wall to the lake. And I don't think we can really miss any. There's 3 traps right there. Oh! Oh, what do you know? A +8 quality gem. So, quality gems are pretty interesting. It's the same with weapons. If I have 40% in gems, I can sell them for a gem cutter's prism, which is an item that increases the quality of a gem by 1. But gem cutter's prisms are one of those rare items that trades really well. So you often don't really want to use them on a gem. If you want a maxed out gem, what people usually do is try to find one with a quality of 15% or higher, or buy one with 15% or higher. So it only takes 5 gem cutter's prisms to actually upgrade them to 20%, which is the maximum. And they give little buffs. I can probably see what this gives right here. I have detonate dead right here, 3/4 physical damage, explosion deals fire damage equal to 18% of the corpse maximum life. Now here you can see this one has 24% increased attack speed. From that we can see that 24 divided by 3 is 8% quality, so the difference in that is how much, you know, cast speed it gives per percentage. And every item has a different sort of buff for the quality that's on it. So it's, you know, some items quality is pointless, some it's extremely valuable, some it's okay, but not really necessary. If you want to min-max, I guess it's mostly a good thing. Well, you don't really want that 2-handed axe. Kill your ass. Let's see if we can track down the last few mobs in this area. Like it's not a huge area, I suppose. It shouldn't be too hard, hopefully. I just hope I don't end up having to look for the last mob for like years. I totally just hit air. Okay. I'll really have to get another AoE attack besides Fire Trap though, because I don't think that will last me until end game. We'll have to see. Maybe this character won't be viable at all and we'll end up just dying to something really easy. I should be able to beat at the level, who knows. That's the thing, there's so many options that it's easy to ruin a character completely. Pretty much before I had my first viable, playable character. I think I was 3 characters in. I was sort of, you know, exploring what I could do with the passive skill tree, because there's 1,350 points on this thing to spend. And you only get like, I believe the max you can get to the max level, which is 99 or 100, I'm not 100% sure. You still only have 120 points when you're maxed out. So that's 1/13 of all the things you could get. Ah, 5 monsters remaining. Seems we're not getting lucky because I'm missing 2. Oh man, wait, there's 1. Ah, there's... No, we're missing 4. Why did I say 2? There's another one. Please have the last one somewhere here as well. Please? Oh boy. Ah! Good! He came walking to us. Good, good, good. So we didn't have to spend ages looking for him. Let's go to Targly and see what he gives us in return.
I've
He gives
travelled
us
inland on the Emperor's
2
Road.
respec points, right. So, I don't know if I have any orbs like that, but... No, I do have a Scouring. If you have 2 Scourings, you can go to a vendor, and usually you can buy an Orb of Regret. It's not available yet at this point, but what an Orb of Regret does is when you use it, you get a respec point. I can press this button, refund a skill, and take back any of these points. Well, I can't take back this point, because then these wouldn't be attached to anything. So I would have to, you know, if I wanted to refund this point, I'd have to refund all these points to actually refund this one. But, you know, it allows you to correct minor mistakes, and the game doesn't have full respec. So if you do want to do a full respec, it can get really expensive to actually trade to get an item like that. We're going to sell pretty much everything we got here, including the flask. And sweep, because I don't really need that, and you get it early on in the game. It's an easy skill to get. Let's see. I kind of want to keep my inventory clean. Ground Slam you get early on, so does Leap Slam, Double Strike you get early on. Actually, I want to keep that because I don't have that skill right now. But we'll sell a few of these, so we, you know, sort of keep our things clean. I'll do that mostly off screen, sorting my inventory, because it's not something you will really want to watch on a playthrough. Alright, snatch the iron ring, and we shall move on to dispatch the Dweller of the Deep. Tarkley wants you to find a path to the Emperor's Road and the inland forest it leads to. So we're gonna go on with the Dweller of the Deep in Submerged Passage.